Welcome back across space and time with your friends in the Captains Quadrant. Me, Captain Joe Dove, and of course, I don't have a butt bug. Honest.
Yes.
Welcome. Yes, it's our friend Jason
Yes.
and our good buddy Jason Hatswell. He is our science officer. He is on a special secret mission and he will not be joining us for the next couple of weeks. So we wish him well. We know he'll do well in his special mission. And when he returns, we're going to hear all about the glorious victories he's had. So,
Well,
kapla!
being king of Australia is a full-time
It
position.
is. It is. It truly is. It truly is. So this week we're going to have a good old time in that which is Star Trek Lower Decks. And not only are we going to have a lot of fun, we're talking about this episode. It was a great episode.
It was great, yes.
Yeah. And so I'm just going to say, let's just kick right off into.
Thanks.
Never gets old.
Never gets old. Never gets old. This was a fun episode, but it also got into a lot of the psyche of Boimler, which I thought was really cool. And I feel like we got a lot of detail about a lot of other characters that normally don't get their time to shine, like Rutherford. And
Yeah.
Rutherford shined brightly in this episode.
He did. Oh,
And
my goodness.
I was here for every moment. Let's go. I loved it. And what did you think? What were your initial thoughts?
Well, I always thought Rutherford's kind of a two-dimensional character. Love the guy. He's very wholesome. But that's the problem. He's just nothing but wholesome all the time. Nothing ever seems to really bother him. And then whenever it does, it's very temporary. To see an earlier version of him who is basically just a degenerate and not a very good person, it was fun. It was fun to get that extra dimension to his character. And it's fun to get that voice actor to, liven things up a little bit, get some variation. And I really liked how this story unfolded, how, bad Rutherford was not necessarily bad. He was just kind of, misguided and
Right.
got caught up in this thing that he couldn't get out of. Mom's here. Space
Yes,
Mom.
yes.
Yes.
Not only that, our friend Jason, Section 31 does not exist. Oh, you're running that? I'll let you do that.
Oh, okay.
Go for it. Go for it.
Space Mom.
Space Mom. Hi, Mom. And then YKK Production says, well, hi, Space Mom. Section 31 doesn't exist. That's what I'm supposed to say.
Yes.
That's what our friend
does not exist.
Yes, that's what our
It
friend
does not
Jason
exist, and neither do butt bugs.
No, they do not. They do not. All right, so let's hop into it. Hi, Ma. Let's go with the
Sporterklon oder hör mir zu, eine Sullivan, oder eine Sullivan.
I never get old of that. Like
So,
every time.
Mariner in Spanish, I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. All right. Reflections, season 3, episode 5. So we're halfway through it already, which is crazy.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. Mariner and Boimler work on Starfleet recruitment at an alien booth job fair, and Rutherford challenges himself. It's a very interesting, like, episode summary because there's more to it than challenging himself.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
They're
like
very cryptic with these summaries, and I like that.
Oh, you'd like that? Okay.
Yes,
That's cool.
because if you read it ahead of time, you have no idea what you're in for.
That's true.
But they're technically not lying either.
Yeah. So, all right. Without further ado, let's hop into our Italian data.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Pros and cons.
It was all good.
Yeah, I mean, this
It
is
was all good.
a short one because, man, like the hijinks happening at the recruitment booth with Boimler
so
and
many
Mariner.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, there was like an abundance of great goodies for those of us that are really digging into the Star Trek world. What are some of your favorites?
I want to know how the con necklace keeps coming back. Where are they getting it from? Is it
Yeah.
genuine? Is it a fake? I don't know. Was it floating out in space, half burned, and somebody just salvaged it? I don't know. I love it when the con necklace shows up.
I give you no guarantee. You just simply have no alternative.
Ricardo Montalban was so
He
wonderful.
killed that.
Yes, he was.
Him and Christopher Plummer were my favorite Star Trek
yes.
villains.
Yes. Well, I have to give a shout out to my favorite Star Trek villain, played by the late, recently, Louise Fletcher, and
Louise
that's Kai
Fletcher.
Wynn.
Yeah,
I think her name should be mentioned more in the pantheon of great Star Trek villains. So
I agree.
Louise Fletcher, wherever you are, thank you so much for being so good at being so bad.
Yes. What a shame. She was fantastic. But she was 80 something, right? 86?
She was 77, I believe.
77. Oh,
77.
I thought she was in her 80s.
I could be wrong, but I believe she was 77. But yes.
Well, comment below if you know.
Still too soon.
Yeah, definitely. So as to a con of this episode, I'd have to dig deep and be very nitpicky if I had to find anything to talk against it. And I mean, obviously it's too short. It's such a good episode. You just want it to continue, but the series of events where Rutherford is going through the different psyche aspects of his brain, that kind of like threw me off because they went into like another ship and then it was another universe and then it was just kind of real trippy. And it's something you can only achieve in cartoons.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be trippy though. That's my opinion. Well, at last, the show is mine. Welcome to the all-new Captains Quadrant with me, Captain.
I'm back.
Darn, he's back. He's back. Darn it. Don't tell him what I said.
Yeah, I have a trackpad mouse that just decided to go, nah, let's kick you out. So
yes, it was the trackpad and not the butt bugs.
No, it was the butt bugs. But yeah, like I was saying, that was the only thing that kind of threw me off was the very trippy sequence that Rutherford was going through. But otherwise, this was a fantastic episode. And
it really was.
Yes. Yeah. And yes, Louise Fletcher died
2 days ago, I believe. 2 or 3 days
ago. Yeah.
What's the deal with the butt bug? We don't discuss the butt bugs.
We don't discuss the butt bugs. Not at all.
Don't let them know we know about them.
But
the conspiracy aliens from the first season of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh boy!
In this episode, somebody refers to them as butt bugs because they think that that's the way they get into your body, but they don't. Yeah. They go in through the mouth. They don't go in through the south entrance.
Yes, it's a great way to explain it. Actually, do you have any cons for this episode?
I have no cons.
Wow.
I have none. I was completely engrossed in this episode. Both the A plot and the B plot, although unrelated, completely worked for me. I loved what they did with Rutherford here, making him three-dimensional. And I love what they did with Mariner and Boimler, because so much is happening with them, and it's so understated that basically Boimler is becoming Mariner.
Yes.
And for better or worse, she's becoming more like Mariner. And Mariner, you can tell she's having second thoughts if she wants to be in Starfleet at all, because she's got that longing look at the end. She saves the Archaeologists Guild lady's number in her I almost called it an iPad, in her pad.
Yeah.
I thought it was so great. It said, new contact. Whoever thinks of that they'd be using something like that, in Star Trek, but it makes sense that they would do something that user friendly.
Yeah.
I fully expect that by the end of the season, I'll save that for future. Are we going to have future speculation?
Yes, we're going to have future.
Okay, I'll save that for later then.
Yeah, save it for later. So I'm going to go jump.
Comments are great.
Yeah, I'm going to jump into 10 forward so we can get them. Let us go.
This is terrible. I like it.
I'm really excited. Just a really sidebar. Really excited for Picard. I know that expectations kind of low for some people.
That's a good thing if you really want to like the show. With
very
low expectations.
But I am so excited to see Michael Dorn and everybody coming back together one last time. I'm so
boy, does Worf look cool.
Yeah,
he looks that silver fox thing going.
Yeah.
Daddy Worf is coming. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, all right, 10 forward. Let's go into some of these comments.
Okay.
What's the deal with the butt plug? As he said, that's our alien reference from season 2. Jason does an excellent TikTok on Kai Wynn and why she is the worst villain in Star Trek so far.
Yes, because I think that Kai Wynn was an absolutely despicable, I don't want to say human being, Bajoran being. Um, I said that she's the worst kind of being because she's the kind of person who preys on religion and faith to get power and then completely abuses it once she has it. She's narcissistic, manipulative, and you can completely tell how someone like that might rise into a position of power using religion and trying to easily fool people.
I think I know you're going there.
All I
I
can
know
say
you.
is Star Trek is very ahead of its time.
It was. And you know what's funny? Like Gul Dukat was a great flip side of the coin. Like he just thought he was the hero. He was also the narcissistic leader. He wasn't a religious aspect, but though he became the dark deity at the end of it. So Deep Space Nine. But next week's episode is, well, we'll get into that later. But yeah, there's just so much coolness with that series. Deep Space Nine was
I love
so
Dukat
cool.
because he personified that no villain, the villain always thinks they're the hero of the story.
Right.
And that's what I loved about Dukat. He was
he thought he was the hero.
Human being.
Yeah.
I think that anybody who shipped him with Kira should be slapped.
Yeah.
And concrete boots to the middle of Lake Mead. They won't sink very far. They'll still have their head above water, but still, don't ship Kira and don't ship Kira and Space Hitler, please.
Mm-hmm. Of course, my mother thought that we were saying butt plug. No, that's the chess game. That's a different thing.
That's completely different.
Yeah. Wait, I go missing for 1 week and the show starts talking about butt plugs? No. But
check your eyes. Oh my gosh.
Bugs. Hey, consenting adults, what can I say?
Well, with a butt bug, you don't have any choice but to be consenting.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It just goes up the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really want to see a sequel to Conspiracy one of these days. I want it, and honestly, if Lower Decks did it, I wouldn't even be mad.
No, I wouldn't be mad.
Like the butt bugs. Just call the episode Butt Bugs.
Yeah, that would be the whole thing. That would be a lot of fun. I mean, it's going to be interesting to have this show exist for more than 5 seasons because, I mean, though it's one of those things that you can write anything and it works. At the same time, your ultimate goal is to get the Lower Decks crew into staffing positions in the Cerritos.
Yes.
So is the show going to be, in the future, first, ensigns or, first year or something like that? Like it's interesting where it could go because it's slowly becoming that because Tandy is just about to become a medical officer. So
I wouldn't mind seeing Tandy promoted and becoming a science officer and then bring in somebody new, maybe the Vulcan officer from, 3 ships, Wejush, whatever it was called.
Right.
I would love to see her brought in as kind of a replacement, but still have Tandy be part of the shenanigans elsewhere, maybe covering for her friends or something. And, Boimler, let Boimler get promoted. Let him get his own room and bring in somebody new to replace him. Maybe the only constant would be Mariner. I don't know. I've always pictured the show ending with, a flash forward to the future with Boimler in charge of his ship and Mariner as his first officer and Tendy's the science officer and Rutherford's the chief engineer.
And maybe this season, once they get their promotions, could be about the Delta shift.
It could be. Oh, yeah. Delta shift.
One thing I want to say to our friend KB Games, he pointed out that the character that had the visor has been around since the first season.
Yes.
As a background character.
I should say.
Yeah, she has.
Yes.
So I found that to be pretty. There she is right there. I found that to be pretty interesting because I either wasn't paying attention or it only stood out recently because I'm actually looking for Easter eggs because I wasn't before. So now it makes me want to go back and watch it. So it's very clever on the part of Paramount. And I'm glad that KB brought that up for us. Oh, he's frozen. What an array of wondrous things this week. Jason, come back. Well, let us then go into future speculations.
I ask you, Captain, what conclusion would you draw?
So while we wait for our friend Jason to come back, I'm going to spend some time discussing the wondrous things of the world of Star Trek. We've completely lost him. Uh, you know, what I have to say is it's amazing the opportunities they have in this new resurgence of Star Trek to really get down deep into the mythos. The future speculations for me this week are the upcoming possible anthology shows that are coming up for the animated series. They're talking about doing something with Deep Space Nine and talking about doing something with Dr. Crusher. YK, our friend Jason says, can't wait for Crisis Point 2 episode. Yeah, me too. Hopefully you'll be back by then. It's a lot of fun things coming down the pike, and I am here for every moment. I really hope that a lot of these things come to fruition. It will be a heck of a fun thing to get all of these great Star Trek issues together. Another fun thing I think with this series is going to be the fact that the show, yes, the butt bugs got Jason. God bless him. We miss him dearly. I love that guy too. He's amazing, and the butt bugs just went too deep. They just went too deep. What can I say? It's really interesting that the crew's going to eventually get promoted. I think it's going to be very interesting to have a cast maybe rotating out. There he is. Oh, what? Look at this.
What is going on?
What is going on?
I thought, look, I'm in the middle of working right now on my project. For section 31, of course.
Yeah.
I thought, look, I can't let you high and dry, mate.
Oh, my man. Hugs from all on the other side of the room. Oh, he's back.
Look, he's come back. You don't need me anymore.
Hello.
What's going on?
I have lost Wi-Fi in my home.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
Yes.
Well, I was coming in.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, you're supposed to be working.
I'm currently trying to edit stuff at the moment. So,
oh my goodness.
He didn't want to leave.
Are we still live, or is the show just completely messed up?
No, we're still live, man.
No.
All right, see you, boss.
See ya.
Oh man,
I'm gone for 2 minutes, and you bring him in.
he showed up.
Can you just not have a Jason or something? What's going on?
He just popped in because you disappeared. So he was like, I couldn't leave you high and dry. So I thought that was great.
Somebody deactivated me before they left. It was very awkward.
Oh man. Well, you were frozen. So that was kind of weird. But we're in future speculations. So
future speculations. Okay.
Yeah. So I was as we were saying, the next week they're gonna go to Deep Space Nine. It's official.
Oh, is that next week?
That is next week. So I cannot.
I'm so looking forward to seeing DS9 again.
And we were just talking about all this DS9 stuff. So I am so excited for next week's episode. It's going to be, or this week really, but it's going to be so good to revisit that. I'm really hoping that we get like Kamini and Armin Shimmerin and Nine of Isar and maybe even Alexander Siddig. Serac, just to see some of those guys come back one last time, even if it's an animated, would be so dope.
I would love to see the DS9 gang come back.
Yeah,
we got to see at least one.
At least one.
I think the safe bet would probably be Max Rodencheck and Armin Shimmerman.
Oh yeah, Rom and Quark. That makes a lot of sense because
because there was a Grand Nagus shout out in the last episode, and I don't know, maybe Mariner's archaeologist friend gives them the staff of the Grand Nagus to return to the Grand Nagus at Deep Space Nine. That would be nice.
Look at this future speculation. I love it. This is going to be an awesome episode. I can't believe this is gonna happen. I've been waiting for Deep Space Nine anything for years because it's one of my favorite shows. And
it is my absolute favorite show. So
it's my favorite show.
The redheaded stepchild of Star Trek make a grand return, even in animated form, makes me happy. On a very primal level.
Absolutely. Yeah. The guy that played Odo died. Yeah, Rene Ajibenoir Jones. He passed on like 3 years ago before the
Huge
pandemic.
loss.
Yeah, he was fantastic, and
He
everything he did
was.
from Benson to Boston Legal, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and so much more.
Prolific voice actor too.
Yeah, that's right. He's been in a ton of voiceover and in some cartoons and video
Yes.
games as well. So yeah, it's a big loss when he went to the wormhole or the great panda in the sky, or is it the great
The Great Koala.
the great koala? Yeah, the great
Do
koala
not
in the
commit
sky.
blasphemy.
it'll
child.
show up. It'll show up behind me. Oh my god! You know? And the stars in the background.
Why is it smiling? What does it know?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be fun if they actually like touch on that subject at some point. Maybe they'll go
They
up to the
shouldn't.
wormhole.
They should just leave it silly.
Yeah.
And just build off the mythology. I would love to see like the cult of the great koala show up at least at one point. Maybe some Bajorans have started worshiping the koala instead of the prophets. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be so cool. I mean, there's
It
a lot
would.
there's a lot to wait to see next week. I think it's going to be so good. And I was
Can't wait.
saying,
I thought that they were going to hold off on that until the season finale, but I'll take it now. That's fine.
yeah. He was also in MASH movie. I didn't remember that he played a priest. Oh wow, that's good
Oh
call.
wow.
Yeah, Renee is deep into the acting. He was amazing.
I just remember the Little Mermaid. He was the chef.
Yes,
Les
that's right.
poissons, les poissons. How I love les poissons. So if you ever want to hear Renee Auberjonois sing The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid. Yep. What the other thing, like we were saying, what's the big game plan for the show? Are they going to have alternating casts, or are we going to see the Lower Decks crew promoted, and then we're going to see a new Lower Decks crew, not Delta, but like some rotating characters coming in that have been background this whole time, and move up into the mainstay? That would be pretty interesting.
I can't imagine the show without Boimler, Rutherford, Tendi, and Mariner. I just can't. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they will do something like that. Maybe when Mariner decides to leave, which I kind of think that's what they're leaning towards right now, is Mariner's going to leave and go to the archaeological guild.
Oh,
That maybe that's where we'll start to see the gang break up a little bit. However, we got the Strange New Worlds crossover coming soon, and
yeah,
you
I
got to
think
have
that's going to
Mariner
be
and
the season
Boimler
finale
together for that one.
Yeah, I think that's going to
I just don't
ultimately
see
be the
it.
season finale.
Yeah. And I don't really see them. And if they do a cliffhanger, it's going to mean nothing by the premiere. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see
Yeah.
them doing anything too arc driven. I think everything on the show is going to be episodic. So I don't know. If Mariner leaves, I think it'll just be for one episode and then she'll be back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh man, archaeology sucks. I came back to the ship, baby.
I wonder if we're going to see a Vash cameo,
Oh, that would be interesting.
because she'd be a part of the archaeological guild.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. That's a deep cut.
She'd be a fun character to come to show up.
Yeah, because we
talking
never
about,
really. They never.
Talking about a friend Q and everything, and
Yeah.
sleeping with Picard, and she'd
Yeah,
have
we
so many
never-
stories.
Right. So who knows? That's be a really deep cut, but go watch your Next Generation, kids. A lot of fun is to be had there still.
Indeed,
Indeed. Well, I
it's
think
not
that-
just for old people.
No. I mean, just because it's 8 years from now is going to be 50 years since the 80s doesn't mean everything's going to hell.
Shut up.
Oh man. So, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Thank you so much for joining us in the Captain's Quadrant. I'm Captain Joe Dove, and Jason is on emergency frequency. Make sure you follow us on all our wonderful socials. Be sure to follow me, To Be Seen, This Dungeon, Captain's Quadrant, Spectrum Sanctorum, on all those fun socials, mainly Twitter for all those ones. Our dear friend in Section 31, Jason Hatswell, who's on sabbatical, but will pop up. Who knows? Unexpectedly, whenever there's technical difficulties. Our friend Annie, whom we're hoping returns to us maybe this week. That'll be in the air. You can find her at Vulcan Diver. And our good friend, my co-host for the next few months, Jason Roy Gaston. And we have one more comment before we head on out, and that is good night, everyone. Night, Ma.
Good night, Space Mom.
Goodbye.